Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe here with Deranged. So yesterday, September 15th, 2021, Yamaha had an announcement about the new 2022 models for their side-by-sides and ATVs. Before the announcement, there was a ton of hype about, well, I wouldn't say a ton. There was hype on Facebook, on social media, other places about what could be coming. Could it be a new YXZ with amazing redesigned, patented, pending suspension? Could it be a new turbo YXZ? Are they updating? Is it just a bold new graphic type deal? Well, yesterday we found out, and today we're going to talk about it. So let's take a look at what all was announced with yesterday's announcement. Easy peasy, man. Okay, let's get it out of the way first, because I'm sure there's plenty of you wondering. There is no news related to 22 models for the YXZ. There's no announcements for new one. If you go to their website, you'll still just see the 2021 models. Honestly, I'm not surprised. I wasn't expecting anything on the YXZ. If they're going to do something to that, it will be pretty drastic in my estimation or guess. And I don't think the times that we're in with everything with getting parts and accessories and everything it takes to bring together a new model, I don't think we're living in a time where there's a high likelihood of something like that happening. Hopefully things will stabilize in the next 6 months to a year and we'll start seeing brand new models with amazing new things coming up. But for now, nothing new for the YXZ. They did not, however, leave us hanging. So let's go through some of the changes, some of the new things they have coming out for 2022, and we'll mainly focus on a new model they have for the RMAX. But before we get to that, let's talk about the few updates that they had to their lineup. First, for Grizzly, Kodiak, for their main quads that they have, not their sport quads, but their recreational quads. No real changes, bold new graphics, that type of stuff. That's all we're looking at. So no big changes, no new models for the Grizzly or the Kodiak or other models. Same thing goes for their small quads, the kids quads. Bold new graphics, that's all we get, which is fine. Again, this is the times we're living in, guys. Next, so Viking. So all the Viking models, basically same thing, just bold new graphics. They did add a nice mirror, which they do have a great mirror. They did add a nice mirror to one of the upper end Viking models, but beyond that, there's nothing new to discuss with the Viking. So the Wolverine. The Wolverine is a machine that's been around for a while. It did get a looks update recently with the RMAX. When it came out, the Wolverine got a lot of the looks that came with the RMAX. Other than that, there's no real changes to the Wolverines either the 2-seat or the 4-seat. There's no real changes. Added a mirror, again, that nice mirror to them. And then changed up the graphics and whatnot, and that's it. Still the same old I won't say same old, still the same reliable platform on it. Still a machine that a lot of people love, but no major changes for that platform for now. Okay, the next thing that we will look at is the RMAX lineup. First, we'll start with the 4-seat lineup. Really not a ton of changes there. A couple cool little things that they did do that are a little bit different from the 2021 models. The XTR model got the new colors, but they also got the door speaker audio system included with them as well. So all the old accessories and everything else that came with the original XTR model, you now get the 2-speaker door speaker audio system with the XTR model as well. The LE now comes with the second row speakers, so it originally came with those 2 speakers in the front and the audio system. For 2022, they've added the speakers in the rear. So that comes now with the 2022 4-seat RMAX LE models. And then the R-Spec model, which is kind of just your first model you're getting in model to the RMAX, it now comes with a new color, and that's about it. So cool new color though. It's silver-ish, gray-ish, and then has some bright green on it as well. Great looking new colors for the RMAX 4. Let's look at the RMAX 2 models, and we're looking specifically at the models that have been here in the past. Hint, hint. The XTR model, it now comes in black. Cool looking colors there. It also comes with the door speaker system for the 2-seat, and also comes with 14-inch beadlock wheels. The LE model comes in a new color. It's silver as well. Other than that, no real changes. And then the same thing goes for the R-Spec. same deal. You're looking at a color update and no new changes beyond that. So that's where we're at with kind of the current models. Before I get into maybe what's coming or what is new, what has been announced, a couple real quick things. Number one, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Myself, Garrett, and Dave, we definitely would appreciate it. Your subscription helps support the channel, helps let YouTube know that you appreciate our content anyway, and we bring some value to your life. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, definitely consider subscribing down below. Next, if you're looking for any parts or accessories or anything for your machine, you can find it usually at Rocky Mountain ATV. We have kind of a little affiliate deal with them where if you use our link and it takes you there, then we'll get a little kick of basically a commission for sending you over there. So we'll leave a link to that in the description below. If you're looking for anything for your side-by-side, UTV, motorcycle, whatever it is, use our link to Rocky Mountain and you'll help the channel as well. Okay, before we talk about the new model, let's talk about the RMAX in general. So a couple things about the RMAX. Number one, we have always been impressed with the RMAX. I think it's a great rig. A couple things about it. Number one, it's a capable rig. Is it for everyone? No. Is it for a lot of people? Absolutely. A few great things about the RMAX. It's got plenty of power for the machine that you're getting. You're not getting a dune ripper, you're not getting a sport machine. You are buying an all-terrain or an all-purpose machine here that will have a ton of fun in sport and a ton of fun doing other stuff as well. You're gonna have fun on the nice tight trails. You're gonna have the power that you need to get places elsewhere as well. The suspension on the RMAX is impressive. For instance, the travel that you have on the RMAX, you're looking at 16.9 inches of rear travel on the two-seat models and 14.4 inches of travel on the two-seat models. And then on the four-seat, you're looking at 13.3 inches of travel in the rear and 14.2 in the front. So for a sport utility side-by-side, or a recreation side-by-side as they call it, you get a ton of travel, which results in a great ride for the machine. That travel allows the shocks to take a lot of the heat out of the bumps that you hit in the road. So the suspension on the RMAX in general, it's been great since it was released, and there may be some other additions or changes to that here with what we have in 22. The shocks, they're Fox QS3 shocks. They are adjustable, right? You got your soft, medium, hard as well. And then the LE models are equipped with IQS, which means you can make those changes in the cab. Hit a button, it'll take you from sport to comfort, and you can change between 3 modes, soft, medium, and hard, basically, on the LE models. The next great thing about the RMAX is D modes. So manufacturers sometimes play around with things that tend to be a little bit gimmicky. D modes sounds like it could be one of those things. And D modes is your drive modes. It allows you to select between 3 different drive modes. And with Yamaha's system, they've really made it useful. And I feel like it's something that brings value to the ride. So you can select between crawl mode, trail mode, and sport mode. And each one of those has its different purpose. A key thing about theirs that kind of separates theirs from others, you get 100% of the power all the time. So if you mash the throttle, you're going to get 100% of the engine power. We're not restricting the engine power on it. So it basically restricts and changes the throttle response. We had some experience with it out at Sand Hollow, and it was awesome to see how it changed going from tight trails, rock crawling in crawl mode to sport mode and ripping through dunes. So another thing that kind of sets the RMAX apart, and it really brings value to the equation, and that is D modes. Now, before we get to the last model, one more thing to mention about the RMAX, and this kind of goes for Yamaha's side-by-sides in general, and that is fit and finish. They call it automotive-inspired interior. I just call it the best interior on the market. Steering wheel, great. Great feel, great size, everything else helps you feel connected to the machine. Passenger grab handle in the RMAX, there is none better, none even close. The RMAX passenger grab handle is the best. Knee padding, you got knee padding on your sides of your legs so you're not banging up your knees. Switch gear is great, looks and functions better than any that I've seen or had experience with, and we've had experience with just about all of them at this point. Lighting, all that stuff. Their fit and finish just is plain better than anybody else's on the market. So another great thing about the RMAX. Now, for 2022, Yamaha brought us a new model of the RMAX, and it is in the 2-seat model only, and that is the RMAX 2 Sport. And there's a couple key differences about the RMAX 2 Sport, so let's take a look at those real quick. The biggest thing for the RMAX 2 Sport to me is the suspension. I feel like Yamaha released the RMAX 2, and kind of after a year or two of experience into it, they noticed that maybe more people on the East Coast were buying it and not as many people on the West Coast were buying it. So they wanted to have something a little more sporty, a little more built for the desert, that was still an all-around rig but had a little more key towards sport for it. So what they did was put new shocks on it. They are Fox 2.0 C2 shocks, and what C2 means is compression 2, or in other words, you're able to adjust both high and low compression with the Fox 2.0 C2 shocks. So it allows you to have more adjustability in your suspension, which means in the desert out west, you can bomb trails quicker and be able to handle whoops and everything else quicker because you have more adjustability with your suspension, being able to adjust that high speed and that low speed compression. So one thing it does not do is you're not able to adjust rebound. So there are shocks on the market, Can-Am Smart Shocks, I believe, have the ability to do it, where you can adjust rebound, but this is compression only, not rebound. Another thing that is different is they have an adjustable crossover ring now. So now it is basically like a true dual rate setup. You have the ability to adjust the tender spring, your crossover ring, where it lands, and where your shocks transition, or your suspension transitions from those tender springs to the mainsprings. So that's new for the RMAX Sport 2. Another thing to look at is they also have wheels and tires that are a little bit different. So they are coming with Canati TerraMasters on them, which I've heard good things about. I don't have experience about them, so I can't comment on how great they are or not. But they seem like good tires. They are basically a two-sided tire. It allows you to use one side for a specific type of terrain, and then if you want to remove them and switch them, you got a great tire for a different type of terrain. So they're kind of a dual-purpose tire. Best of both worlds in one tire. Those TerraMasters are actually a 30-inch tire, and it's square setup all the way around. So no problems rotating tires. You got a good square setup, which in my opinion, Honda, is how all side-by-side should be. You shouldn't have to remove a tire to rotate the things. So they come also as well with 14-inch beadlock wheels, great looking wheels. They also did a bunch of testing to make sure that they held air well and everything else with your tires. So you're looking at some pretty good 14-inch beadlock wheels out of the box. They did stick with a 14-inch wheel on purpose. I know a lot of people are moving to 15-inch wheels. They felt like keeping the additional sidewall was worth it, and the benefits of the sidewall kind of outweighed the benefits of going to a 15-inch wheel. So guys, that's really it. What are your thoughts on the new RMAX model, really the sport model, and the RMAX in general? Let us know in the comments below. Also let us know, hey, are you disappointed there wasn't any news on the YXZ? I think they probably have something coming. There's been kind of a little smoke to that fire for a little while, so maybe we'll see something on the YXZ soon. But for now, what do you think about the RMAX models? The new Sport, does it feel that need out in the west side of the United States, in the desert, in that area? Do you feel like it provides additional benefit? What are your thoughts on the RMAX in general? Let us know in the comments below. Guys, that's it for this one. Ride safe, pack out what you pack in, and we'll see you on the next one.